connect people away president, they don't give responsibility, and then one themselves way they serve in various side for men and can talk to me on waiting government they do, and lot of focus also for make we do now more information if something not happen over the week on social media where we Minister of Information can always try for clarify. But as usual, we go to the news updates then quick before we go also come to the panelists that we have hand over to the Minister of Information when we all chain or a bar. So for start, we know say today a big thing at the country because the president officially launched the Sierra Leone medium-term national development plan, where they for 2024 to 2030 with the theme a transformative and acceleration agenda for food security, human capital development, and job creation. This launch take place in a Freetown Conference Center where we call Bintumani, and boku diplomats then, people in our government, NGOs, the local council, CSOs, they be witnessing. Also on Wednesday, last week, His Excellency the President, he be joined the wall for me to celebrate what they refer to as the International Day of Education under the theme Learning for Lasting Peace, with them commemorate Nabo. Then they be culminate after the 5-day celebration will be start January 22nd. Also last Wednesday, His Excellency the President be received the United States Ambassador to the UN, Her Excellency Linda Thomas Greenfield, where the President be all with engagements that we get for do and for enhance salon a relationship with the United States of America. They also discuss boku thing them we get for deal with peace, security, na salon, but also then the support as well. The ongoing work who they do for make sure say we look at waiting the happen the election work where they don't set a committee between the main opposition party, the government, and the development partners then. Also, the ambassador will meet the First Lady as well. We then discuss about global advocacy and issues that we get for dealing with women and girl picking them. The big announcement will happen now that the government of the United States announced $1.5 million United States dollars for invest by the electoral reform na Salon. Last Friday again, His Excellency the President will receive a technical team from the K-Rise Belt Initiative of South Korea. Now, this team then visits the president and then discuss boku thing for deal with how for increased rice production, food security, and ultimately for make we reduce reliance on rice imports. Also, last Tuesday, the president as well get fruitful engagement with Madam Jennifer Overton, when a CRS, the regional director for West Africa, and also Ademola Ajegbi, with the regional director for Africa for Nature Conservancy, where they come for talk about water fund and how to conserve the environment. Also, remember say last week Tuesday, the Chief Minister, Dr. David Moynihan, said they will deliver a Salon imposition at the UN Security Council, the open debate where they get on the Middle East, where they convene at ministerial level. We serve also the Minister of Information and Civic Education, be the part of the one and back where we witness that discussion in the Security Council. Also, the Minister of Health, Dr. Austin Denby, in partnership with the Italian government, last week Wednesday also commissioned the Regional Blood Transfusion Center in Makeni City. This now for help women and picking them for men and get good chance for men and survive now this war. Also, the tourism sector, they joined the global tourism community for participate for what they call the Photo Meeting in Spain, where don't take place between the 24th to 28th January this year. Also, we are Minister of Information and Civic Education also, then we host a City University in New York, Usai a big meeting where it could discuss about how we will build strategic partnership with the Ministry on the Civic Education agenda. That meeting where they discuss on how for the joint research, publications, joint projects, and also symposia them. We forget exchange learning opportunities for the ministry, Civic and Salon, and also staff at CUNY. Also, the Vice President, Dr. Mohamed Jules Jallo, last week Thursday, they inaugurate the Western Area Peninsula Water Fund at the Guma Dam. The Vice President highlights the fund and how we want to do innovative financing for way for water conservation and accessibility in Africa. That's why I will end this news updates, and I want to introduce very quickly we panelists that we'll get. We get people we like UNACEF know where they serve in various capacity. I will start with my sister, where they near me immediate left, when Princess Tuba Nibio, when the Minister of Fisheries and Marine Resources. We can talk to you about what he done do so far and which time plans them for move the ministry go before. We also get my brother as well, where in fact is the youngest Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, where President though ever at any point in our history, Mr. Timothy Musakaba. Uniquely, now we also very multilingual. They talk boku languages and back. And then as usual, when I can say we need to create this platform for get inclusion. We also get to border between. We also have a senior member and the main operation of the agency, but they are in the capacity as the chair of the Parliamentary Committee on Foreign Affairs for also can help this discussion. So I will stop and so far for also invite a brother and a friend, but the minister said I'm not for go. You know, so we still negotiate. All right, Chair of APAC. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Family and hosts across the country, thank you always for the journey with the time for bring council up-to-date, credible, factual information which they happen across government. Before we go any further, one more I join me for congratulate me brother to my right, Yusuf Keke Thomas Sandi, where His Excellency recently appointed again to a former position as the press secretary in the office of the president. So on behalf of the Ministry of Information and Civic Education and on all as we partners there for telling and put on record, we deep appreciation for an excellent public service. I think the appointment to call back a testament to an excellence in the work we do. The only thing I want to make clear to you that we see in the last press conference this will not agree. He always there for the camp. And I don't also tell the boss say this man only left small part of an normal to we in the ministry. So we'll continue to build the fantastic work we don't start. So Kex, we wish you the best and we hope for continuing to pursue you. This is a platform and a podium any day, anytime. Today we get a very high powered panel. I want to take this opportunity for particularly tell thank you to the Honorable Minister for Foreign Affairs and the third term this is in our way. Now we flyer, but at the first term this is don't come. So we don't put on a flyer. We'll go to New York, we're supposed to do it, and then call her quickly to Security Council meetings there with other world leaders there. So a very important man. We now listen to the news all this week as well. No say. And everything concerning ECOWAS, every major international agency in the world wants to talk to him. A young man, one of the new face of this government, His Excellency choose for serve in a very high, distinguished capacity as the country Minister for Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation. with friend and brother, Mr. Timothy Osakaba. Thank you very much for being with me. On my right is my male sister. This is my born sister. So una go forgive me for sure say this my sister. I get special love for her because na my sister, na my boss say they do a fantastic job. Now one of the people that we promote from the last government. So it will tell you say one of the people that we do very well as well. The Honorable Princess Duba, when I was minister for, I would say, the blue economy, fisheries and mining resources. We don't see plenty questions on what's in the happen, all this, but when he become minister, and I will be very pleased for us say today, any and all questions, she's prepared to answer to them. The final person, the gentleman, I remember when I go Parliament for my approval, and he tell me, say, I still get that video that I can post that once in a while. They are taking on a very difficult job. This job is a very difficult job. I said, if I want to scare me. But this man, but he knew what he was talking about because he don't occupy this position before as Minister of Information. At the time when we occupy, he had been the youngest. So I pulled the title to my hand when I occupied the position for become the youngest Minister of Information. But now I'm the chairman of the Parliamentary Foreign Affairs Committee, a distinguished member of the All People's Congress Party, and I'm glad to thank you for joining. So we can hear from all of them. Before we do, we start a new segment we call Rectifying. Every week, we pay attention to the media, and we come at the start of a press conference. Any issue we see persistent fake news there about, we start with one or two major issues and a clarifier. So now, this week, we don't hear plenty news about the elections business, election systems and management bodies review. We don't see plenty reports of people say, in fact, election they can be back 6 months from now, that committee they get for do this and do that. For a family, I also care about the truth. I want to let you get the facts. Yeah? So, when Dr. David Senge and Dr. Samuel Kamara signed the agreement, they will get some major resolutions there. One, Nabi Follett President make a speech on peace and national cohesion. President Dondua. Two, Nabi Follett we order brother and sister in the APC come back na government. They may not do it. Not to you, you already did. Third one, for His Excellency constitutes a cross-party committee on electoral systems and management bodies review with a three-way leadership nominated by the government, the APC party, and development partners. I want to listen carefully. The body will examine the electoral system structures and processes of the 2023 multi-tier electoral cycle. Then will also be informed by previous elections with a view to highlight and address the contentious issues of elections and results management, including collation, verification, authentication, and publishing of electoral data consistent with international best practice for enhance, and this is the important part, the credibility of all future elections and for guarantee that the elections are going to be free, fair, and credible. That body did not get no power, in fact, for call another election. They know they investigate the last election. Anybody will tell you that's not false. The next election at Sabon will be held in 2028. Inshallah. Let God give all long life and everybody. No weakness. So if anybody tell you say anything other than that, they lie by you. The government, APC, and development partners, they don't come together. In fact, they don't develop number one sub points 3A. Now that they will develop and agree on the terms of reference. In fact, I know say next week they plan for the press engagement for updates the public on the thing that they don't do and the terms of reference that they agree on. But I want to make it very clear. The committee has no power for summon or subpoena anybody, including election management bodies, and know the election as a London door and it's final. 1, Rectifying. 2, major newspapers and carry news say car power about for shuts down the ship. I can tell you now, say, having discussed with all the parties involved and get all the information, since the tariff go up, government don't meet the obligation on a monthly basis. They pay about 50 billion to car power. Government don't be consistent since last year when we increased the tariff. True say we get areas for pay car power. Ministry of Finance, they in conversation with car power about paying areas, and they don't approve the first disbursement of 12 million for pay to the car power ship. We expect that money to go in at your account next week. We just want to finish this week with payment of salaries, and then next week that money will go in the account. So I want to assure the people of this country that we're not currently in danger. We'll get the assurance of the Minister of Energy, the assurance of the Minister of Finance, that they in close touch with partners there, car power, and that the news say apparently that they can shut down. That news say not true. Okay. Now I'll come to the panelists then, who don't clarify the issue again. And also we have questions there about the bus. All man they work a fight today. If you're not being today, we're not give transport to the journalists there. Because bus are free. Get I say government don't give free bus. They travel all across. I will get transport again. I joke and I joke, let not grab walk away just now. The VIP guest then I will not listen to the guest then. But I want to start with my sister, the Honorable Minister for Fisheries and Mining Resources. Minister, I want to make you share with Fabo, since you become minister, I know you don't do a lot of work. Me know you say you're somebody very thorough, you're systematic, you don't look at the economy, you get big plans. And you're part as well an integral part of the big five. So normally for set the scene, I can let for you 5 to 7 minutes. For you address the major issues that we don't meet and which are your big plans then we want to let Fabo know about. All yours.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister of Information and Civic Education. Fambu de una afternoon. But una know the answer me. Una afternoon. Today na we only. They don't give we 1 or 5 to 7 minutes for a lot of about fishy business. And I know say we all eat fish now. So not to commodity we no know but I really want to take this opportunity for first of all tell we Daddy, we President, you plenty thank you. And the one that we give you this opportunity for good day today for talk to me family them. I'm not saying not to think way they happen all the time, but once a day today I they make justice. So with this time here where they don't give me. First of all, I know say people that they hear but blue economy, because they get green economy, we then the blue economy. As you can know, say the ocean it blue. And because it blue, they say we in a blue economy. And for that blue economy, Lord maintain and let continue with the color and everything. And the creatures that we inside, we get for make sure say it healthy. We get for make sure say we they take care of we marine resources that we in the water. So now that day now we paramount aim for make sure say the fish they still there. Because if you see fish it don't at the water, we no will get hook and we no want that because we want make use of them. In as much as we take the fish for sale, we want make sure say the fish that they you want the way they're small, then grow for let them go big and then we'll make use of them. And I know say people that would think say, oh, Ministry of Fisheries. We are the one of the ministries that we would generate revenue for the government. We not just there, we just push policy, paper them. No, we are business people there. And I make today I want to tell we business women there. The women in fisheries, would are they? Yeah. So we just want to tell us, say, who the woman there? We don't ready, we don't gear up. We make sure say, Fabio, it is 5 game changer. When I feed salon. And feed salon, not to agriculture no more, not to for eat rest no more when I carbohydrates. You need protein. And the protein, now fish, although we get meat. But fish now one of the cheapest commodity. Now that make we ensure say, for let bio, this is big drink we don't break out for salon, for low able for feed we say fish in an integral part. It's very important because you don't go eat rest for 1 week or for 1 day, you know, put small bunga head day. So they make sure say the fish they go plenty, and by God the power, the fish will produce more and more. We will make sure say all thing for increase the fishing productivity, it will increase. First of all man go out for no say, okay, well, as a ministry, 2023, what you really wanna do? What you wanna bring at the table? How wanna help the government? We target that be 110 billion old loans, but because we find out say that not all. Me, I can always say I don't like target. It can then me head, but I always they push the envelope, they push the boundary because I know say we can able for do more. God make you for let you able for push your limit, and we push the limit for Lord will increase unto 119 billion old loans that have to be able for do for 2023, and we'll not just step out. We look at and talk to my staff. I say, hey, oh, this money, yes, in billions, but because of the inflation, it's not too much. We don't do well, our partner on our back, but we need to do more. And what do we do? We call all the fishery industries then. We tell them, say, we know it. This money, we don't try, but we want for pusher. So once you don't, we engage. We don't that figure if I call her so man will faint. So I know they call her because I don't say I get for Kaya back again 2024 for announce what we don't able for bring up. So we don't already put modalities then in place for Lord will increase this 119 billion. And I know say by God the power will double her. And you know to think with the freight self. We don't do several things there, you know, because as a ministry, policies that we need for do. We don't sign and review the MOU for the cooperation for SOP between we, the Ministry of Fisheries, and SLMA. We now all know say SLMA will get so many issues that we address. But one forget that cordiality wherein we work together. We go able for go, we inspect the vessels there. So we don't put that together and we work together. The other thing again we really want to do as a ministry, where I say, you know what, with the fish, we also tell you we don't know how many vessels they need. Because some man they will sit and let night they can they run away in the morning and don't go one day. One for make sure that there is monitoring. And that make SIK before I come SIK it not be well. No, nothing at SIK. Sorry, Ibrahim Fofana. That this Kurumba, sorry, the ship where 9 they go and monitor we water them every day for repair. So we can quickly meet the Ministry of Finance, and they said they do well for we, they do money for local repairs. We don't repair SIK. Now SIK they begin to fly back with water them so that we water them will be safe. And then they will don't do. They will not say by God the power, they will continue. We they try again for push further, for get more vessels them where they will be able for the car for monitor we water them so that at least this illegal fishing where they take place, it will stop by God the power. Then we get again, we don't try as a ministry forget an aquaculture policy. Because I know say some people their backyard, they do an aquaculture, they get fish ponds them, you know, people that you call them fish farming. But one brand come to a mainstay wherein everybody they know say, before you do aquaculture, you get to go to the Ministry of Marine Resources for let you be able to take you're able for register and pay your registration. So that business are able for monitor for make sure say you they do a very good work where tomorrow you fish no go above we fish in the water. So we don't get a policy on that as well. Then we don't try for validate with fish products, regulation and official manuals. We don't do that day, and we don't make sure say all what people do want for not able for help the Ministry of Agriculture. Would they get meetings then would they able for talk together, we able for put plans then together for not make sure say what is the power want, we able for put what is good for the country now what they do. And I know say people that will talk say salon for years we don't need the yellow card. For long we send we fish and fishery products in Europe. It has been something we don't go back and forth with it all day right at the edge. Then they first something and they pull with it. You know they put it in the play games and that way they give you yellow card. We don't they now one score, then they just say okay well we don't get a foul. So they tell us well the yellow card we don't show na yellow card we not try for put on act. But that yellow card not show say we not go able for export. It just be say we need for meet certain modalities then for love we go for clearance. And by God in power, we don't get a team. And what in CM Edu, the chief minister, now in your office, you get a small committee where they work with me on staff them for ensure say they work together quickly for let them remove this yellow card and that's what they work for. They will really would not tell the people even where I travel, I talk to the British government and the EU people, they say, we don't say, oh, Sidon, would you wait for this EU certification? We really want them because we want to people them, well, let them begin for exports at the EU countries then. It's difficult, but I know say if countries there, like Senegal, they don't do, I'm not saying going for do. So with that, we don't try for put things them together for work. And not to just EU that we look for, we don't talk to the Chinese themselves. Because Chinese themselves, they get a very big market. If themselves they go able for law, we will forget their own certificate, so that we'll go able for export with fish China. And I really know say that one day it comes soon. That day, I know say fingers crossed we can get them. And when I come, I not just sit down. I try for go out because not to salon no more. You sit down all thing waka, all thing work for yourself. I don't go to countries like Cyprus. Cyprus is very big on aquaculture. In fact, they know they use the sea set because they know say they don't eat them banned. So most of the fish that they get are from the aquaculture sector. So we don't get an engagement where they say they will come for can't help with. Then the other big news, I don't say why be there away. The delegation from Egypt, they come, you know, say Egypt now with big brother there. They're so geared up, you know, but they can't see because initially we don't go, they say don't come. They don't see, say, we get big potential now the fishing industry. So then therefore let them help with in so many other things then, you know, for long for build up we own fishing industry. Then another thing we are not saying yes for the thing we follow na here about Black Johnson. Black Johnson, even when Mr. Newly as the minister now Parliament, what did they ask me? I said, Madam, what you will tell me about Black Johnson? I said, you know, say I just can't know. I don't know much about Black Johnson, but we see that would be my first priority. And what he really I don't do. I don't spend 6 months, and for the 6 months we don't do more than 6 engagements with the embassy of China. Then they come to we go back to them because I know saying that this where they don't go talk and they don't pronounce and say, will they do this for una? Boku they come they say they go reduce her. So man they say they don't go do it again. I will say, well, if that's so una say me own president when I talk and do anything where he say he did one. And because he don't go talk, will they ensure say what he don't talk it will happen. So no Chinese man will tell me say we don't say na plan A, we don't agree, he want change to plan B. Because that's what I tell them. Then they say no. That plan A will all be don't agree plan. Now they go with. So will they work very hard to make sure say that plan A will be don't say what they do. We go must one. So the Black Johnson knew everything will be put in place for that happen. Soon we have to go even the land issue. Will they go for go meet the community? Because if you don't be year small, we want to go tell them.
We get time for Black Johnson when they expect.
Well, will they go this week? Thursday, will they go there? We'll go tell the one they will need for settle their land business, will they go settle that? Then even the Chinese people there, they are ready. They don't already go do sample testing. So once they don't do that, you know say nothing where they start. And the man tell me over and over, he said definitely they are committed. And when you see Chinese man tell you say, I'm changed in Chong.
Thank you, Minister. All right, on that note, one of the absolute gems of Salone, now we resources there within our water. If you think about the national flag, it includes the blue economy and Kinjini Bunga Sweets. So one of the things they were glad the minister don't talk about. And then we fish here, then say for the travel go. Where they say go Europe, they say go China, now make money, and then they double the level of resources we will continue make from the industry from last year to this year. So Minister, I want to tell you plenty thank you. I should say question a day, but we can't to question time. We also don't receive some questions online. And if you don't know how to get 3 questions, my advice to you is you go online, you ask the other 2. Because we'll give you mind now 1 question per person. Now I can to be host the Honorable Minister for Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation. Mr. Minister, you did in the news a lot, but could see no happen at the world. Salon we get Security Council. We present recently at the ministers' meeting. I've been privileged for the day when the Chief Minister presents, I think, a statement where I will say that you leadership, that you now you lead on behalf of the country. We also get with diplomatic relationships there. News this, we don't get new embassy now, I think was it Azerbaijan or the open mission. So we don't do plenty. Even difficult sometimes for catch up with all the amounts of things that we don't do since you don't become we country distinguished minister for foreign affairs. And now we get the ECOWAS news where I know see the whole world they ask you about, say we get potential people there. So we'll give you 10 minutes since you know the host. I'll give you a summary of the thing that really occupy your mind from Saloni perspective in terms of foreign policy and some of the wins that we don't accomplish in the 6 months since you got.
Thank you. Thank you very much,
Mr. Minister. I also want to seize this opportunity to thank all of Funawe Kaya today. I see the fishermen and women come to represent the blue economy, and the journalists there, including the North Koreans. Kaya, there's a certain set of journalists that we call North Korea, and the bad news carriers. But in any case, they are very good friends. They know themselves. I also want to thank His Excellency the President, retired Julius Madabio, for the opportunity he gave me for serving in this capacity. And for those of you who know me, particularly me from the extractive sector, the Minister of Mines. And at the time when they appointed me as Minister of Foreign Affairs, for me it'll be a miracle because I've been there on 2 crutches, and they appointed me as Minister of Foreign Affairs. But that is the work of God. And I'm also very pleased that I am being assisted by a very experienced academic, human rights expert, and a motherly figure when the Honorable Deputy Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, Mrs. Frances P. Algali, was there in the Blue Garage. And when we took on this ministry, we meet, okay, I call them blind small. When we come at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, we meet a very capable, team of experts. And the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, now the ministry where they drive the foreign policy aspirations of the Republic of Sierra Leone. And the foreign policy of the country is set out in Chapter 10 of the Sierra Leone Constitution of 1991. We very clear. It said the foreign policy of the country now for promote and protect the national interest, and for make Sierra Leone remain part of the international community, for participate in multilateral organizations, and for get and promote also with regional interest and intercontinental cooperation. This ministry or the sector immediately after independence, I can always joke say, if not the way Shaka Stevens do for this country, but the foreign policy of Sierra Leone, being always from Shakin time, from Intimagan time to date, Sierra Leone don't get very enviable foreign policy. With foreign policy always be defined by a country we're very impartial in the dispensation of foreign policy. We have always protected the interest of the human being, and we don't make sure say every decision they make in multilateral organizations and also with bilateral engagements then and for promote we own national interest and also for vote on things we're very important in the world on principled basis. And I know today many questions will be asked about crises that will go on in the world, especially in the Middle East, the Ukraine-Russia crisis, ECOWAS, and the trouble we'll get in the Sahel region. Every decision we Salon they make, it's made on principles. And so in the past couple of months, we don't come, we inherit a very significant achievement. An achievement on a reflection of the changes that we Salon don't do and the posture we Sierra Leone don't take in international diplomacy. We, Sierra Leone, on the 6th of June 2023, overwhelmingly, they vote for Salon for occupy one of the 10 non-permanent seats in the United Nations Security Council. The United Nations Security Council now the highest international body where they deal with peace, global peace and security. They only get about 15 seats. 5 of the seats then now permanent members then when the United States, United Kingdom, France, Russia, and China, now they occupy them 5 permanent seats a day. The 10 seats then now representatives from continents and regions where they vote for. So on the 6th of June last year, 188 countries, over 192 vote for Salon, and we became a non-permanent member for 2 years, from January 2024 to December 31st, 2025. This is a testament to Sierra Leone in new dispensation, in new posture, in new interaction in the international space. All that credit they go to His Excellency the President for where he pushed Salon vision internationally. For make 188 out of 192 vote for a small country like this, they tell you say Sierra Leone is ready and Sierra Leone is playing a very important role in the international space. So we don't get to first public debates, even though from the 1st of January, we don't get some other consultations and debates where they go on at the Security Council. Also, we get plenty multilateral space there, which Salon they do very well. At the AU, Sierra Leone are a member of the Peace and Security Committee. The Peace and Security Committee is the Africa equivalent of the Security Council, where they determine peace and security issues at the African continent. We get a permanent representative with Idena Addis Ababa, who doubles as our ambassador to Addis Ababa in many countries in North Africa. Then they represent at the AU, and Sierra Leone they play a significant role in the AU. Because of the trust also where Sierra Leone gets in the international space, by 2004, Sierra Leone unanimously the African Union selected 10 heads of states then, where they say that we push the agenda for the reform of the United Nations Security Council, who said they want to accentuate and raise the voice of Africa at the UN Security Council. You can imagine 15 members in the UN Security Council, 5 of those, when are the permanent members then, Africa no get no representation. And in the non-permanent category, only 2 representation Africa gets. Whereas 70% of the discussions and decisions that are made in the UN Security Council then get something for do with Africa. So we see this over 75 years of the United Nations, Africa, we believe say we don't suffer historic injustice for not having our voice properly heard in global peace and security decision making. So that responsibility as Sierra Leone and the head of state, President Bio, and get the responsibility for canvas what they call the common African position, where it is seek for make Africa will get 2 permanent seats at the permanent category of the UN Security Council, and additional 2 seats where we make 4 seats in the non-permanent category of the UN Security Council. Now a big responsibility where Sierra Leone to marshal the efforts of other 4 countries there for push that agenda, for make we correct that historical injustice where they don't meet out to Africa over the past 75 years. Besides, Sierra Leone also, from the African Union, the chairmanship of what we call the African Peer Review Mechanism. This is now a socio-economic tool where countries where the AU don't assign with this chairmanship, they bring in team of experts for look at the governance system of countries in Africa for look for the best examples and share their examples and they for make other countries that will ameliorate the governance system. And Sierra Leone get for handover that chairmanship where it done very excellently stewarded for the past 2 years under the leadership of His Excellency the President through the Ministry of Public and Political Affairs and the APRM Secretariat in Sierra Leone. And also, Sierra Leone is part of many committees in the United Nations. While I reference the foreign policy history of our country, immediately after independence, Sierra Leone became the chairman of what we call the West African Steel Group. This is not the first multilateral organization in West Africa. Sierra Leone chaired that. For sure how Sierra Leone don't be always dynamic diplomatically. Sierra Leone was also chair of the Committee of 24 Nations where we did against apartheid. Sierra Leone played a significant role in the emancipation of the states, the black states then in Southern Africa, such as the SWAPO movement in Namibia, the ZANU-PF in Zimbabwe, the ANC struggle in South Africa. All of those roles, Sierra Leone took principal position for advocate for the freedom of them people that day. And when it comes to Israel and Palestine, Sierra Leone is also a member of the committee where they seek for the inalienable rights of the Palestinian people there for get their own nation. And we believe in the two-state solution where Palestine and Israel will live side by side with clear-cut national borders where they will live in peace and security. And Sierra Leone is also a member of a committee, what they call in the United Nations, decolonization and the self-determination of countries. We don't enjoy independence for over 62 years, and so we also believe, say, countries that we meet statehood, they're not supposed to be colonized in the 21st century. They forget their right for self-determination. On a bilateral level, Sierra Leone gets fantastic relationship with many countries in the world. And with foreign policy, actually, historically and contemporaneously, we don't get any partiality. You can imagine during the Cold War, when the Soviet Union and the United States or the West, then we get conflict, Sierra Leone remained a non-aligned country. We even get embassy in Moscow as we get embassy in Washington. Today, especially when the world don't become multipolar, we foreign policy is without exclusion. We get bilateral relationship with countries where the principle will get shared values, mutual respect, and common interest. And we don't expand with level of bilateral relationship. Every relationship will they get now a reflection of what we want in our country and the agenda will they set for us. Thank you.
The Honorable Minister for Foreign Affairs. Madam Study, my Sabina Sufre, the Papa Saninoso. I want to let you talk. I want to give one more quick bite because I think the ECOWAS issue is in the news. 3 members of ECOWAS, Niger, Burkina Faso, and Mali, announced that they left the bloc. What's in our position? Right you all on that. If you can do that for me 2 minutes, I will appreciate it.
Okay. Well, because of the experience of His Excellency the President, Brigadier Retired General Smaba Bio, ECOWAS, they draw so much strength and experience from President Bio. To the extent that we see when the coup d'etat happened in Guinea, President Bio was one of the first leaders where he go because he understands the dynamics, ramification, consequences of a military coup. And we see since President Bio go Guinea, what could have been a vulnerable situation is now a very amiable relationship. To the extent that Sierra Leone, they provide one of the most important national, what you would call security commodities, on a fear for Guinea. Equally so, President Bio is charged with responsibility where he don't engage Burkina Faso, Mali, and in the 64th Summit of Heads of State and Government of ECOWAS community, the community, the heads of state then will unanimously appoint President Bio and in counterpart President Faure of Togo for do the mediation with the authorities, the authorities of Niger. And so at foreign ministers level, me and the Minister of Foreign Affairs of Togo have been in this engagement. And what is clear is that Niger, unlike the two other countries, actually willing for work with ECOWAS. Because the sanctions where ECOWAS don't impose on all of these countries really are very tough sanctions. Lives have been affected, and so we want also for consider say we want to bring this mediate with these countries for make them come back to constitutional democracy. Engaging Niger, I'll give you an incident that happened a few days ago. Even though we will not say the three junta leaders then at the three countries will not meet and decide say they want to form a Sahel Republic, kind of their own Sahel conclave. And Niger not been on too much go until after an aborted mission with me and the Foreign Affairs Minister of Benin, Foreign Affairs Minister of Togo, and the Foreign Affairs Minister of Nigeria for go and Niamey for go talk with the authorities and they. Unfortunately for we, so alone, we not get private jets. We counterpart in Togo, the foreign minister get private jets. And so he flew down to Niger. Maybe get for go Abuja, for go join ECOWAS hired flight. Within Abuja, then not give me landing permit because of the sanctions. Later on, I made some calls within Niger through the prime minister and other foreign minister, then do we landing permit. When I do landing permit, the flight can develop problem. And of course, nobody knows what they say flight not get oxygen, goes to the inside of flight. So we don't fly. But immediately we pull a press release and ECOWAS say this was a situation and that another day dates they will go for me choose for go for the mission. Unfortunately, the Nigerians themselves come on and then join the lot and say they are out of ECOWAS. It is a very delicate situation. But ECOWAS in position is we will continue to engage with these people. Because for ECOWAS and for these countries, it is now common interest for let them remain as ECOWAS bloc. Why? Because Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger, if you put all them land size together, it's about 2.6 million square meters compared to the remaining 1.4. So they get half of West African land mass. The population is about 15% of the population of West Africa. But if you take away the privileges where you get for free movement within West Africa, who said then at this West Africa with Bambara, Fula, and other people in Odi? So if you say you're not a part of ECOWAS, you are landlocked, how you able to get goods and services? So even though the authorities have made those decisions, but we also care for the people of the three countries here for ensuring we keep the people in the bloc. And there's a process for withdrawal, as clearly stated in Article 91 or 48 of the ECOWAS Treaty, where they say for the country come out from the ECOWAS bloc, you have to inform the Commission 1 year before you come on. And that has to be done through legislative sanction of a legitimate government. So we believe, say, we will work with two brothers there for make that not happen. They will remain as ECOWAS.
Thank you very much. You see the minister get applaud so when you know say this minister here, you understand. I just want for people the way not familiar with this minister. I just want to take this opportunity for them to also know say Deputy Minister, well, Press Secretary mentioned saying I polyglot. I can count, they talk a minimum French fluently, English fluently, Russian fluently, Mende fluently, Madingo fluently, Soso fluently, Fula fluently. So this man, if in a language entry, he gets her. So now we understand why His Excellency make the very smart choice for make him superintend over the foreign policy of a country. We get a very proud foreign policy history. We just outlined to we say from the days of independence internationally, Salon might be a small country, but we don't hold the heads up high internationally. His Excellency President Julius Madabio don't continue to do that with the leadership. Minister, you end on a note where you refer to legislative processes that's supposed to happen. The Honorable Mohamed Bangoy, also a member of ECOWAS Parliament. And so this issue also concerns her at the Parliament. And I know say tomorrow, when I meet as a law. So in your 5 minutes, I will give one around 5 minutes. You go do it? It's man way if not for talk. You know how to talk. So Honorable, I want to give you chance as well for comments on the foreign policy agenda and in your capacity as chairman of the Foreign Relations Committee in the Parliament on the things that you see right now waiting to occupy you as well. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon. I'm glad for you tonight today once more. I want to tell you, Honorable Minister of Information, I want to commend you first for what you are going to do, taking government to people directly. I want to tell you, say, you know, do a good job and keep it up. Honestly, we as a parliament, over the years, we don't serve as a go-between the government and the people. That is why they have a committee on foreign affairs in our parliament. We now with the ladies, now with the oversight the activities of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. And I want proudly tell and say, from where they appoint the minister and the deputy, Nayar, you're going to do extremely well. Extremely well. Because one of the main things we will push as members of parliament, until we know say we represent the people directly. As a ministry, as a minister, we don't get numerous complaints from the ministry, staff officers. But the way they treat of man in there, previous ministers. We don't summon them in parliament. We don't talk to the staff. So when this minister comes, and deputy, we approach them with the same problem. For see, them young, brilliant Australians in the ministry. We not just keep them. What you want to do for expose them? They're not hire them for work at the ministry, for sitting on an office thing, but for expose them outside. I'm glad for telling us, say, as a chairman of the Foreign Affairs Committee, although the minister not be reached there, for telling us, say, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs don't hear and don't adhere, don't begin implement a lot of postings in the ministry. As a matter of fact, for ascertain that we don't need, we try to send a letter to you, Mr. Minister, for giving the list of the postings. But at this point, I want to say, we young brothers and sisters in this ministry, with the language, for a long time without enjoying the privilege of postings. Most of them, they are now in posting. The minister will talk this now. Among many things then, even though most of the things that we for talk are the things that we I don't write or I don't put together. Because the issue of foreign policy, you know they play politics on foreign policies. You know they play politics on them. They are there. If you tell you, say, I don't do A, it is here. A. So there is no way we will play politics on foreign policy. Very clear. The minister left one thing. When HD presidents go to United Nations, when I know say I go to United Nations, I be good. A lot of people in there, they say, oh, Mohamed Bangura is included. Oh, why Mohamed Bangura? Yes, I'm included. Because it's my right. Not so because chairman or the Minister of Foreign Affairs or the Minister of Information, you want for Kermigo na United Nations. Now because I did it. That's what the law says. I am the chairman. Either agree or not, I did it. So that is clear. Yeah. Honestly, we for proud Australians. We for proud Australians. Back home, we might get all our differences because of political party colors. But when we go out and you see the way in which Sierra Leone has been positioned in the international world, you will feel proud for saying, I am a Sierra Leonean. I am a Sierra Leonean. When they call the president for who chair the UNESCO High-Level Steering Committee on Education, SDU, I was shocked. But he was called to co-chair. And the chairman was the UN Secretary General at that time. Some of the deliberations will happen and the progress in this area today. Now, as a result of we presidents who gets Naya in this country. As a result of it. And they put them aside. Put them aside. Instead they talk, see, the foreign minister, they talk French, they talk Russian or whatever, they talk Mendi, Tibidi, Limba, Alti. There are many of Timothy Kaba type in the foreign ministry. I tell you this. Dr. Lasberry, we ambassador. We based in Geneva. He was chairman of the intellectual group na UNESCO, World Trade Organization. He did it, WTO. How that be? Make it get a small tiny Sierra Leone for make the occupied such important position. I tell you one thing. When somebody they say, I am a good father, I am a good head of family, only him, then he turn around, you see him picking there. No achieve nothing. You see him wealth, he will achieve nothing. Then what makes him a good father? What makes him a good father? With all the accolades, there are so way the presidents don't achieve over the years. You see in PASA, you see in ambassadors, in representatives, in ministers, going out there, being handpicked among the lots for minister. It rings a bell. It rings a bell. Honorable Minister, the area of foreign policy, the minister don't touch on this law. He don't touch on. I tell you this, if anything, now this country, the way we keep proud of, now foreign policies. Now foreign policies. So, Honorable Minister, in a nutshell, me just come for can highlight some of the achievements there so over the years.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah?
Yes, sir. Well, the Honorable Mohamed Bangura, a household figure Honorable, I want for place on record on behalf of the people of this country with very sincere appreciation for your service to this country. In the darkest days and some of the most challenging days of a democracy, you chose country over party. You chose your people that will vote for you. You took a decision of courage and said the people that deserve a voice. And that democracy they work not by when we stay away, or by when we participate and make things better. On that day in our parliament, I think this country owe you a debt of gratitude and we'll not ever forget. So I want to put on the record our appreciation to you for that. You mentioned many things, including salon leadership. Last week as well, UNESCO organized the World International Day of Education. And UNESCO did a big celebration in New York. They invited us from Salon for be the keynote. When I've been getting the opportunity to talk about the story way President Bion leadership to bring for Salon at the UN. And then all the leaders around the world, what they say, that Salon is story they want to listen to. So I think I just want to lend credence to the point to you to make that on international policy, Salon they stand head and shoulders with pride about the work they do. So I tell you, thank you for what you do for support His Excellency for doing that. Okay, now I talk. Question time. You know the rules. So we'll not go through that. I get about 6 questions we don't come through online, and they either want it, and then I open up to now. So then the owner will just answer them together. Yeah? Question 1. Can the Ministry of Fisheries and Marine Resources provide an update on the status of the fish harbor? I think you don't do that in your just now. We've heard about previous challenges and it will be valuable for understand the current situation. I think you don't already touch on that. So, what's the commitment normally now? Anybody who asks a question, we send the question, we ask her. So, as long as the question makes sense and you're not insulting. 2. Talk only for utilize the covered funds from ACC for either build a diagnostic hospital in Kellyton or support student loan scheme, whether we could clarify these initiatives, which are the funds that they go. Which make government deprive commercial vehicle for apply the roads because of government boss, the person said this is not fair. UN being undermined by Western powers, ECOWAS don't get issue with 4 countries in the region, this person say, and whether Salon they play a leading role for strengthening Mano River Union. The other person say, why government busy they push New World Order agenda? Why all these New World Order laws na Salon? So then, before you minister, will tell me it's a New World Order agenda. And then the other person, the last one, said the hypocrisy of Western countries and the UN supporting Israel time and again to destroy the international laws. Should this be a wake-up call for Salon? All right, to tell them family, thank you for sending a question to me. I will take question then at the room. Normally I will take 5. So let me see the hands for the 5. All right, number 1. Kuya, I know we can't take it and ask one. And okay, number 2. Number 3. I want to see woman now. I say woman and I'm going to put up me up. And well, I want to tell you something, you know, okay, Mr. Kamara go to number 4, the gentleman go to number 5. We'll take them quickly and then we'll come back. Thanks.
My name is Mahmoud Silla from the Nature newspaper. My question goes to the Minister of Fisheries and Marine Resources. Madam Minister, climate change is a global concern. You and I know if you go now the coastal region, the mangroves have been top off. I want to make it tell me the solar room will be make a presentation at Ministry of Finance during the budget hearing.
Okay. once the minister understand the question, I will let us so. Yes, sir.
Thank you very much. Abubakar Kabo, Standard Times. Mr. Mohamed Bangura, Honorable Mohamed Bangura, sorry. You are the head of a committee who they represent Salona ECOWAS Parliament, which is good. But you see, when we ECOWAS play for an Escoma and go on Abuja, and an Escoma a member of your party, did you in any way play any role for an Escoma go to Abuja?
Thank you for that question. The next question, number 3.
Yes, the question to go to the Minister of Fisheries. Madam Minister, years ago, we get a company we can work on with fish development, will hit the European market. A company by the name of Precon. What's in the report of that company and how far we fish don't put us on the go for hit the European market?
All right, thank you, Mr. Kamara.
Mohammed Kamara, The Watch and Sankara newspaper, respectively, sir. Mr. Minister of Foreign Affairs, sir, I want to tell you right now the difference between this regional bloc and the territorial integrity of the nation. The question is, whose constitutional mandate ECOWAS gets for intervene to an issue of a given member country, that country peaceful, all that it wants is to prove justice. Whose constitutional mandate ECOWAS get for making intervention as to give suggestions, opinions, and of course views. Where people say, a lot of people are not divided opinion to this. ECOWAS is more of a political commission than an economic commission. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, thank you. For una we don't understand. For una we don't understand this conference. Zakamara now resident celebrity. I normally allow for ask question, we get preface now. All man has straight to the question. Thank you, sir.
My question go to Honorable Mohamed Bangura. You asked a question about you being a member of the ECOWAS Parliament. Can you please tell us activities ranging from the Niger and other activities that ECOWAS actually need to take part in? Just activities.
But that question, they come back.
As in capacity as member of ECOWAS Parliament.
Yes, sir.
Can you be brief about the activities of ECOWAS
you want to know what ECOWAS Parliament do?
To do towards the sub-region with Pacific.
Okay, all right, okay. You basically want to know what's in the ECOWAS, when I rule of ECOWAS Parliament. Okay, that's the last question, So now we'll do this, we'll answer them, then we'll come back, yeah? So the question then number 1, Minister, the other one I've been asked already, so now for not say one they have been asked first. Minister, they get a question about solar Kulugu, you say you understand the question. Standard Time say if Honorable Bangura play any role for the EBK go Abuja, Hassan na Concord Times want to know about some fishery projects will become and what's in the report. I think you touch on that because you talk about the step we take for level fish in go Europe, and I mentioned that, so I think that same thing there. Honorable Kaba, the question is whether ECOWAS get right for play interference role in any country in internal affairs, because Mr. Kamari say what are the difference between the territorial integrity and the membership at the regional bloc, whereas with justice issue they happen, I think they refer to some infamous issue they happened recently. You just want to get your perspective on that issue. And then the other one is what I want, small civic education no more. He said that you tell us the ECOWAS parliamentary role will be. But it starts with the Honorable Minister for a question, then they will come to now.
Thank you, Honorable Chinova. I just want to tell all the one the way they asked their question there, plenty thank you. I don't touch on the fish harbor. Definitely, like I talked before, say the fish harbor now one thing we every Sierra Leonean they look forward to, and because we know say it's very important, we don't put all kind of modalities in place for make sure say this fish harbour come into fruition. First of all, we don't engage with the Chinese embassy several times for Lord knows who side they did and who side we safety because we want progress. And I can safely tell on say the land issues the way they beget. The Ministry of Lands, they don't sign everything, and by God the power on Thursday, we go follow, we're able to settle all of those things then. Then again, the Chinese, they be send expatriates the way they come for able to get soil sample for make sure say what they can do not the right thing that they do. So we don't put everything into together for ensure say this project here it come to reality. So I just want to follow and bear with you because most of the things that the people that they do, it take time and our processes. But their processes there, we don't really tell the Chinese, they say they need for expedite time because with patience they run out. And by God the power, it will happen. And then somebody talked on climate change, mangroves. Yes, definitely we know the mangroves. Tenge for be, I know say me we come on board, me channel will get for be multi-millionaire because we get big mangroves there, not that bound access. But because of that, we preserve them. And in fact, people they right now when they go for go plant more mangroves so that we know so we carbon credit it will increase. And by God the power, salon set go better. The solar rooms. Before they come, Basim, we get Sarah Fisheries. If we put 2 co-room them, one at Kuto Road, one at Congo Market. So what I come, I be one know what really they happen with them co-room them. So me and the permanent secretary, one afternoon we work out one of the markets then we find out say the co-room them both know the work. So we get for talk to Basim say, do ya? The co-room they know the work, now there 2 markets there. And not to them just the 2 markets they no more one co-room. One co-room then and then main markets there. So we and Basim there we don't get a very good discussion on that. They don't tell we say, Lord just try for see what's in the specification, how best it will come in. If we send a own technician for them, first them go see what's wrong with their co-room there and see if they for repair or they will replace out a new one. So definitely co-room, solar co-rooms then are seen away very difficult. Even at the province system, we go on solar co-room then because places then they we fish business is difficult. They're not able for preserve them, fish them, they therefore use co-room. So definitely that then at the pipeline and we work towards that. And you talk about the reports we recon we can do. Definitely every report where they do for ministry, we ensure say we follow up and we make sure say we what they don't recommend, we go with it because we want make we want to ensure say this EU certification we get them and we don't put everything in place. Like I tell when I initially say, even the CM it help we on this year because HE na big number 1 priority that for ensure say we will forget EU certification. So even when I travel, anytime I go anywhere, especially European countries, then I try for tell us when I need for help, we for Lord get this EU because we don't work very hard and we feel say we deserve it. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Honorable Bangura, one country that will end with the foreign minister. So you get 2 straightforward questions then. One, whether you play a role in EBK in Goa and Abuja. I think I have a straightforward question that. And then the other one, just quickly within an ECOWAS Parliamentary, because I want to get one more round of questions before we go. So
the role of ECOWAS Parliament. I just pick one. There are many. To bring security and mediation. We only see the activities of ECOWAS and the sub-region. You get the heads of states there. Then you get the parliament. So if them 2 bodies are also not the West Africa, things for be bad. Things for be bad. As for former president, my answer is a straight no, no, and no. But further, make I just tell you about President Bio. In this case, that just tells you who the man is. This demon. Now, so some people say that this man is so bad. Take a look at the sub-region. if not other country that be happy, you have all your sovereign rights as a nation. Somebody sick, you want for medical attention. I'd like to bring 29 heads of states in the world, including former Obama. I will say no. I have that right for say no. But this man, he sit down and say, this country now we own, now we get this country. Nobody else know they will get them. Either be APC or SLPP, now we own. If somebody then another party is sick or he need medical attention, Mr. Minister, thank you very much as a government, because we're not able to look at the reasons where they advance for the former President Kuruma go and go for good medical aid. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Honorable Minister of Foreign Affairs. Thank you very much, Honorable Minister.
Thank you. Mr. Honorable Member of Parliament, I think that the court may allow the sick man for going to the government. We can forget that's clear. It's the court. And the court's the application being go to. On the question with the resident journalist asked, whether ECOWAS get a constitutional right for interfering into a country's political affairs. Obviously, every country is a sovereign state and governed by its constitution. And ECOWAS, the collective of all of these countries, now they agree, say, this umbrella organization, therefore, they be part of them for their collective aspirations, development, and security. And there is no one country that is called ECOWAS. Now, a representation of all the aspirations that inform the organization. No, ECOWAS can interfere into the political affairs of a country. Simple. But ECOWAS gets also a mandate for interfere into a country when there is insecurity, instability, and gross breach of human rights, as it's rare in the cases of Sierra Leone, Liberia, and Cote d'Ivoire, and the other countries. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We'll take another round of questions, but I just want to make sure you answer this question on the government they deprive other commercial vehicles for plyroods because of government buses. I want to make clear, say, we get designated time there, we'll get bus lanes, we don't put that information there out very clearly. Almost every country in the world will get a public transport system and get designated space there because we try to encourage people for use public transport. The advantage of this new public transport system is that it's predictable. Every 10 minutes, now every stop we do, a bus will come, and the fare, again, is predictable. You know, they go up and down. People are not asking, oh, the cost, this and that. But the cost, a fixed cost, and this, they be run by a private entity. The metro company with them is set up to include current members of the transport industry, the transport, the union there, governments and get state, other partners and get state. The intention of a law continue to attract foreign investments, law attract private investments in the transport sector. And as you know, for the next 3 days starting today, people will enjoy this free ride there and people will begin to see. As I say early this morning, some people complain plenty on social media. Yes, I want to acknowledge them complaining, but doing the launch to make clear that let's just be patient. Any innovation, any new thing, it must get your small glitches. But the reason we will do it now because we want to ease the burden on the majority of Sierra Leoneans and make let people get access to public transport, may help follow reduce the carbon footprint, and may encourage the one that will take public transport for no say, decide the way they go there on time. So I just want to make clear, say we don't discriminate against anybody, we just want to let people learn benefits. Okay, final round of questions. Let's see the hands. Number one has to be a female. And who the woman here? One woman. Okay, now Magadi. Okay, good. Number one, woman there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, let's start. Go ahead, Madam. Epic Radio.
Iris Bangura, Epic Radio. So when you talk about the boss, you say the price will be fixed. But people don't say because not 10 news or any destination, if that's not too much. Thank you.
Thank you. Number 2.
Well, Augusti Jonesy, reporter for Heritage newspaper. Well, I want to ask towards this coup attempt that will happen at Salo, right? So now we don't see ECOWAS, other countries don't be withdrawn from ECOWAS, and Salo is part of ECOWAS. So one will waiting on Salo in your way for play towards the other country then for them to stand.
Boss, I get one problem I get with possible. We know the listen what they talk. That question this one, other person will get different question, chance, I always. So we cancel that question with the other person. Number 3, go ahead.
Good afternoon, my name is Johnson.
Yes.
My question is going to the Minister of Fisheries.
We must have it talk to you.
The question will go to the Minister. And during the presentation, they don't make mention of the fishermen, the way they can use small nets them. And we all see that it's a specific nets with them for use. And up to now, they see that they use nets they're not supposed for them. You know the repercussion behind that. So what you don't do for make sure so you monitor that particular situation and ensure that they use specific nets that the ministry don't design for them.
Thank you. Number 3 or 4, would that be the 4? Then at least next money.
Thank you very much. I'm a YouTube today, and that's again. It will light, Mr. Minister, it will light on the issue of the $1.5 million I stand to be corrected we get for the tripartite committee or election reforms. Why is it that ever in the history of Sierra Leone, the June 24, 2023 election can get this kind of committee for investigate the election management board and the EM ever in the history of Sierra Leone? Who is fooling who here? Here as the ABC is say this, and the government they say this, and the international community they say this. Who and who is fooling who? With regards to this morning, we get for deal with election reforms. Thank you very much.
Wait. Anyway, you question, but sorry, sir. Wait. The question you get complexity. I want to do justice to her. You say why not the first thing this way? Would they do this? They add the money there, and the money part I don't understand.
Provide this money.
So why they give this money?
Yes. Okay. We now ever in the history of Sierra Leone for monitor or for investigate the June 24.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you. Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Minister of Foreign Affairs, Fofana Glina newspaper, sir. Sir, you say the court now allow former President Koma for me. But on confirmed report claims say you, the IG and the CDS.
No, sir, what is what to confirm?
No, what I confirm now, sir.
You know that.
Not a rumor, sir. We on confirmed report claims say you, the IG and the CDS and our company are going to do. Una an agency of the court, we want to know, sir.
All right, the gentleman, yes. Take the final.
Thank you very much. My name is Suleiman Jalo and I write for Expo Times newspaper. This question will go to the Minister of Foreign Affairs. Mr. Minister, tell me in the whole year says Sierra Leone for open embassy in Israel. Amidst this crisis would happen in Israel if things goes right. Waiting Salon stand for benefit out of that embassy.
All right, Una, thank you. We get few questions in here. We will try to answer them very quickly and then we wrap up. Minister, I'll start with you again. I'm on the next because I want question again. Then the 2 minute Foreign Affairs Minister will be yes. Go on.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. Yeah, the person we asked for the net they call a monofilament, and then next the day we use them. It is catch a small picking away for grow, we go to big fish them, and they deprive, and we know one that day. And that make the government, the Ministry of Fisheries, will put a press statement say, let us stop for use them monofilaments there. Because them monofilaments there, they do like ghost fishing. If they not a rotting, if you fall down our water, in less if you know the fish, they catch all them small picking them. Where they inside the water, they small fish them. So because of that, we say no left for the use the monofilaments. And what if the government do, the Ministry of Fisheries? What did they do? They subsidize nets them, where they go able for give fishermen them for let them go able for pay at a reduced cost. Because I know say not to all man they able for buy the nets them. So we purchase them through a donor funds, then we forgive them at a subsidized cost. Then what they do? They try for monitor. The monitoring is really stringent. Even my deputy minister, then there's there, they go Kisi Dokiad, they go Tumbo. All what they do most of the time, and for run after the one that they do, then they use them monofilaments there. We'll go Conakry, again, we hold people the way they use monofilaments there. So that same way we don't put out a release say nobody not for user. And because we don't say so, anybody will use monofilaments with the whole arm. And also when I be able to another case where the director of aquaculture, where they hold a large scale of people the way they do deal in monofilaments, then we seize them again. So that thing will not they encourage, we want for let them stop for the user because we want let them fish them, let them grow, let them big, let them be put at them. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Minister. I must say the IG and agents of the courts. So I think that question you undermine your question when you mix them together. Because the IG is an agent of the court. So you want to separate, you want to ask if the minister are agents of the court. Because the IG is affirmatively an agent of the court. But the minister and Minister of Foreign Affairs, so Minister will say that you is A, for clarify on any role where you play allegedly in this money on confirmed reports.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Minister. You know, one of the North Koreans. North Koreans. And thank you very much for, clarifying the point. Say the Inspector General of Police is an agent of the court, law enforcement. Yes, indeed, I was part of the people that were accompanying the former president for a medical. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs is now responsible for provide protocol for state protocol at the airport. So me said that role I played for protocol at the airport. So I are the chief protocol officer of okay. Thank you.
Alright, so now answer now. My sister Ice asked about the bus price and whether they're not too much. I just want to make clear again for everyone to understand. We get two corridors, we get the East Corridor and the West Corridor. No matter outside you go, the bus ticket is fixed, so you buy the ticket. In fact, very soon we will move towards you buy the tickets inside the bus again, you buy them separately, and then we begin a cashless system. When you buy that ticket, you guarantee the ride, you can buy multiple, each time you go, you log in. As long as you don't enter the bus, it's 10 years, it's fixed. The advantage is it's predictable, they know they haggle you, they don't tell you, say, oh, it's up now, we'll start again, no matter how far you go, no matter how short you go. And the corridor are very defined and very clear. We believe, say, a competitive and a reflective of not just the market price, but again, a private company will therefore encourage more people to come into the system. So we try. Just to be clear, the designated bus lanes in the run from 6 a.m. to 9:30 Monday to Friday, so that we will ensure see people that get free flow during that period. Outside of that period, other commercial vehicles can run. There was a question about the Israel embassy, who handle. So I want to do and then I will come back to the elections.
Like where I say, Sierra Leone foreign policy there without exclusion. And if we get diplomatic relationship with North Korea, we will get embassy and get with people. We will not get diplomatic relationship with them. Yes, but we get diplomatic relationship with Israel. The member of Parliamentary can attest say even the parliament bill they use now is now through support from the Israeli government and many other important infrastructure and so on. And so we do have an existing diplomatic relationship with Israel. An embassy is a further step for consolidate the diplomatic relationship. Yes, we have intention for establish embassy in Israel as part of the diplomatic relationship. But that not happen yet. Obviously, you cannot do go get embassy in a place where conflict is right now. Well, as and when it is necessary, we will get embassy in Israel, and then we'll get Sierra Leone. But for now, we know the issues where they go on at the world. So thank you.
Thank you, and we also want to be a Salon position on that. Like the minister said, foreign policy is guided on values and principles, and irrespective of whether we get a relationship or not, when it comes to the foreign policy position, we're guided by the values that we apply in the Constitution. Finally, my brother, I think the basis of your question, the premise of your question, get problem. 1996, after the election, the opposition actually said they don't accept the election. I was here for that. Dr. John Caiaphas man. That was a major issue in 1996. You go to the next election, 2022. In fact, that election day, I remember the press conference where Anes Kurma where he said that election day was fraught with multiple issues. Saying that a litany of evidence against the election day, and that not only for the sake of peace, make it ourselves. The following election, 2007, in fact, it begets even more major issues. It end up in courts, very serious issues, and international partners that continue to put money for strengthening election management bodies after the challenges and they will get. 2012, we remember what happened again. Aha. Not to kind of cause by enemy. Aha. Go police. We remember the Go Police election. The kind of cause by. So the premise of the election said that only this election get problem or get question, and that premise they go after. That in the history of this country, anybody straightforward will see, we have had questions about the elections. And anybody who don't lose, don't complain. So waiting this agreement say, now that once and for all, let we reflect on why would they get a question here. Let we all come together, let we review, not just this past election, but let we review. Look, the Constitution clear. The means for, I don't talk this and plenty time. If you get a problem about an election as Salona, one great body competent by law for look into the election, that is Supreme Court. That's it. Beyond that, we can look at institutions and processes and review. That's what we're doing. And another international partner they don't see, then they continue for but also if first they don't put money. In fact, 1.5 million compared to how much money they don't spend in the past, it's a paltry amount. Not a beaucoup money that day. But we welcome them because it contributes to an agreement that we made as Sierra Leoneans. We bring together APC, SLBP, and development partner. And I can say next week, they will get a major announcement. So one of the big issues that we get, that before agree on the terms of reference. I can confirm to now say they don't agree on the terms of reference, and then they continue for work together for care this country go before. So I'm glad for that. I'm glad for all. And I have to take this opportunity now to tell thank you to the very distinguished panelists there. The Honorable Minister for Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, Mr. Timothy Kaba, the Honorable Minister for Fisheries and Marine Resources, the Honorable Princess Juba, and the Chairman of the Parliamentary Committee on Foreign Relations, the Honorable Mohamed Bangoura. As usual, I want to tell all the journalists in plenty thank you, partner them, the woman that represent the fishing community and the fishing industry for what they can support with today. Local stations they across the country. The journalists there will be here back next week, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum.
This is to broadcasting. As for the tell you, plenty thank you. And good afternoon. As for the tell you, plenty thank you for viewing from this morning, from the buses. We then at the buses, then we're gonna be into money and kinda the weekly government press conference. We'll be telling you plenty thank you for viewing and for believing we. As we there for bringing the right information. So we'll go left now. This is Unity Broadcasting, and thank you.